Well, hey everybody, it's Pastor Martin. I pray and trust that you all are doing okay tonight, and pray that all is well with you. Thought I'd pop on for just a little bit um, tonight as we talk about. Want to talk to you about this COVID-19 and social distancing and masks, just to sort of put a little emphasis on. Um, the seriousness of it, the importance of it. I know there are many that got a lot of questions about it, and a lot of people have a lot of comments and everything about it. But wanted to come on and just share with you my thoughts about COVID 19, social distancing, and talk about the things that it really entails. And so we won't be caught off guard by thinking that the talking heads and those that are saying a lot of stuff about it maybe not being real or being whatever. I thought I would share it with you because, as many of you maybe know, I just came from a stint in the hospital for 10 days dealing with COVID 19 and taking that test and being diagnosed and being in the hospital with I always like to say with the threat of a ventilator from the doctor. But I've been home for over a week. This Sunday will be my second week. Hey, Sister Adams, and I'm grateful to still be here and to be alive. So let me first of all say, a lot of times we hear people that get online and they talk a lot of things and make a lot of comments about things concerning social distancing, about the pandemic and what's open and what's closed. Let me say to you that I did everything that I thought was right and proper and still end up with this virus and hates people. And so it still hit me. It is a serious thing. And this is this is, I really want to talk to you all about tonight. Those that are watching, those that will watch later. This is a very serious thing. This is not something that just fell out the sky. It's very serious. Whatever you want to call it is serious. When you start talking about this particular virus, it is something that I think all of us need to take very serious. If you have symptoms or if you feel you need to get tested, if you feel you've been exposed, every one of us need to take this very serious. It is not a joke. I was hit with it and maybe about I probably didn't go to the hospital when I should have, but my wife made me go. But when I did get to the hospital, I like to say I got there in time, and I end up in there 10 days with them, a lot of blood being taken, a lot of shots, blood thinner, steroids, everything you can name. I had a lot of that going on, and so it's a very serious thing. And I think when we start talking about whether we should have church, those of you that are having church, God bless you, and you keep doing that. But I do want you to understand that if you're having services, even if you're wiping things down and people are wearing masks, you got to practice social distancing because this thing can catch you, and you can people can come to your service and you not even know they have it, and then they can spread it, or it can be taken back. Hey, Sister Hall, or it can be taken back to where people are. And so you have to really, really look at the whole thing, the whole picture of what's going on with this. This particular virus, of course, or COVID-19, when it gets in and you get pneumonia, it affects your lungs. And everyone knows when fluid is in your lungs, it has the possibility of collapsing and you not breathing. And so my breathing was one that was a great challenge. My oxygen level was a great challenge. And even now, I'm doing better after these days home. But every now and then, I still have a challenge with hard breathing and things like that. And so it is not something that should be taken lightly. And I hear a lot of people, and I've read a lot of posts. Someone said, make sure that they don't give you a false reading, and make sure you get your report and make sure they was really, really a positive and not. Well, listen, your body with this particular thing if it hits you hard enough, you're going to know that the results don't have to be results. They didn't have to give me the results to know that I had something, because I could tell by the chills and I could tell by the inactivity that I had for several days. I was inactive. I'm here in this front of this computer. I stopped doing all streaming. I stopped doing everything. I just closed down. I just wanted to lay down. And then, my wife said my talking had changed. And so when I went in to the hospital, my breathing, it was a challenge for me just to breathe. And so when they put the oxygen on me and said I'm maxed out at 100%, I could hear the oxygen breathing and pushing. I mean, actually pushing. And when I would pull a little thing out my nose, I could hear it going shh. I'm like, oh my God. And so then being put in the ICU and all those things. So this is not anything to just sort of play with. And I want us to know, I know we're in church and we believe God's going to protect us. I believe that also. I still believe he brought me out. I really do. But I don't want you all to take this for granted. This COVID-19 is serious. It's not a joke. I had one of the pastors that used to go to my church years ago. They moved to, I think where did they move to? Not Arkansas, but they moved to Alaska. Then I think they end up in Phoenix, and Pastor Rosa, and he ended up passing. He was in there 46 days with COVID. And before they called his wife, and before she could get to the hospital, he was gone. Someone else, because of listening at my story, told me their niece was in for 46 days. Yesterday, I was looking at the news. There was a guy in for 106 days. 106 days. And I was only in for 10. And I have to tell you, that was, it was close and everything. And so practice social distancing, whether you church or not church. I know the great argument is, why can't church be open? Walmart is open, the liquor store is open. I got all that. But no matter where you go, whether it's church or wherever, there is the possibility of somebody that you may not know even have it, spreading it, and somebody catching it and taking it back somewhere else. So really, this is really not about whether church is open or Walmart. Even if you go to Walmart, you got to be careful, because there have been many people that have been tested positive at Walmart. So that's not a thing of whether it's a thing, a Walmart thing, or another store thing, or whether we should have church. Because y'all know, when we have church, we're going to touch somebody, we're going to pull them mask off, we're going to dance together, we're going to reach out and shout together, whatever you want to call it. And we never know, just because a person don't look like they have it, you may end up taking it back. Then you get symptoms. And let me tell you, even if you quarantine at home, I've had one or two members early on that had to quarantine at home, and they were talking about how bad it was. I had a sister had to quarantine at home and talking about how bad it was. So when you start talking about, this thing, and when you go in the hospital, that's even different. My bishop had COVID early on, and he was in the hospital for 11 days. So I'm in there for 10 and trying to figure out, how in the world did I get up in here? But it is serious. Do not take it for granted. Do not play with it. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and wipe everything. My daughter's on here. When we were, when this first came out, she would tell you, I didn't go anywhere. Went to the store. I didn't go anywhere. And we would wipe everything down and wash everything. And sometimes you get a little relaxed with stuff like that. But after this experience, I'm telling everyone. I had someone to text me last night about a pastor that was having symptoms. He tested positive, and they were asking me what he think that I think he should do. I told him, if he don't feel no better, go to the hospital. Do not, and I repeat, do not play with COVID-19. They're better at what they do, but do not do that. Cover your mouth. That's right, Spirit. Cover your mouth. Wear your mask. I don't care what people Where? I don't care if people want to come in your house. Listen, right here at the door, because I don't know who's got what. You don't want to play with this. You do not want to play with this. Wear your mask, practice social distancing, and if you back into in-house worship, make sure that you practicing even there with social distancing and things. Because I think the misnomer is because we do the thing and we do our temperature that we assume that that means people don't have it. People could have it and show no signs and no symptoms of it. The only way I knew something was wrong is because I had heavy chills. And I was like, oh my God. It's like I was freezing, almost in a freezer. And so I went on my phone and asked, of course, you know how you ask the phone, what are some of the signs of COVID-19? And that's what it gave me. And so I was trying my best to hope that that was not the case until I actually went to the doctor and they came back and said, yeah, you got it. So I knew then I'm going to be admitted, but I didn't know all the other stuff that they would be doing. They gave me plasma and some of this other stuff. And I mean, just constantly, it was crazy. But I'll tell you more about that another time of how I really had to fight, not only those that were praying for me, my family, but how I had to fight mentally for 10 days. That was a 10-day battle. Sort of reminds me of Jesus in Matthew chapter 4 when he was tempted by the devil. He was taken up to be tempted. And it was like a mental battle laying in that hospital room. And so I'm saying to those of you, take this serious, especially those of you in church, because we have a tendency of dropping things because people get on and they say stuff, and whether they're trying to be relevant or whether they're trying to be controversial. You know, some people like controversy because they get attention, but they don't deal with facts. You're looking at a person that I'm not here to be controversial. I'm dealing with the facts. Been there, done that. Could have been the other way. You could have not seen me anymore. We could be just, y'all could have been talking about how what a good guy I was. But thank God he allowed you to see me today. And so I'm saying to you, let's take this serious. I mean, don't play with this. Don't let nobody fool you. Don't let nobody play and push you into playing with this, because this is very serious. It's very, very, very serious, to the extent that I say this. Doctor came in and said to me, said, I'm trying my best not to put you on this ventilator and sedate you, and he said, because it's in your lungs, and we're trying to get it, but you're breathing, and so the Lord was kind. He's really kind to me. I believe he really loves me. I believe I got a work to do, and so I'm going to do it. But again, I hadn't been on since I've been out, and so I just wanted to pop on and say, please be safe out there. If you feel symptoms and signs, go get checked out. Remember, you got loved ones and people in your house. Go find out what's going on. I know some of us are old school. I'm sort of the old school. That's got to be bad for me to go to the doctor, but I'm determined to sort of. I'm trying to make it all the way to 60, and so I'm working on that. So please be safe. Practice safe things while you're out. Social distancing. Please wear your mask. Wash your hands, and do not underestimate this COVID-19. Okay? Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. I see all of you. Yeah, I'm glad, Bro Bruce, I'm glad I don't look like what I've been through. Y'all keep praying for me. I think I'll be okay. Well, I know I'm going to be okay. So came this far, I'll be fine. Hey, Sister Duncan, how you doing? Good to see you. Tell Pastor Duncan I said hello. And hey, y'all. Yeah. Well, I better get off here. Thank you again for joining. Please share this with somebody, and let them know. Hey, Barbara, and let them know. You know, take care of yourself. I mean, we're in a place we've never been before. We don't know how much longer it's gonna last, but we got to be safe. So practice safety. I wouldn't want my worst enemy to end up in the hospital like I did. Not one. I mean, and sometimes you'd be like, but hey, Shante, um, yeah, I feel 100% better, getting stronger. Of course, you can hear my voice uh, it's coming back more and more. Still not gonna do any preaching right now. Probably do a little talking and stuff, but want to make sure I get to my next appointment, so I can get the breathing and all that stuff and get it the way it needs to be. Okay. All right. Thank y'all so much. Love you all. Appreciate you. Thank you for praying for me. Keep praying for me. And I'll be back on here a little bit. I think Sunday morning at 10:35. I'm gonna do live straight from here, and going to share some of the testimony. But I'm gonna be sharing a word because I believe that God's gonna bless somebody, and God's gonna move somebody. I believe miracles. I believe that this is the time that God is setting us up to see notable miracles that can't be denied. And so that's what I'm believing God for. That's what I know. Hey, Ricky, that's what I know God's getting ready to do. And somebody's going to receive it, not just with COVID-19, but somebody that needs a blessing and miracle in other ways. God's getting ready to do that. And so I want you to join me Sunday morning, 10:35. I'll be sharing with you. The Lord bless you and the Lord keep you. Thank you once again for joining me. I'll see y'all later. Your best days are ahead of you and not behind.